Balamurugan sir, good evening sir.
Good evening.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Balamurugan sir.
Ma'am.
Balamurugan sir, good evening.
ஆன்சர் பண்றாரு.
அதான் எனக்கு இந்த இது போட்டா கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது.
நீங்க நார்மலா எப்படியே பேசிருங்க மேம்.
கேக்குதாங்க? வணக்கம்ங்க.
கேக்குதா? கேக்குது.
நீங்க ஹெட்போன் போட்டாதான் கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது.
ஆமா.
நான் பேசுறது கேக்குதாக்கா?
நீங்க பேசுறது கேக்குதுப்பா.
ஓகே, தேங்க் யூ.
ஸ்கிரீன் ஷேர் பண்ணி வேணா பாத்துக்கோங்க.
ஷேர் பண்ணிடுறேங்க.
வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகுதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகுது.
சார் நீங்க பேசுறது கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது.
பாலமுருகன் சார் உங்க வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகுது சார். கொஞ்சம் கரெக்டா சிக்னல் இருக்க இடமா உட்காந்துக்கோங்க.
இப்ப கிளியரா இருக்கா?
இல்ல பிரேக் ஆகுது.
இப்ப கிளியரா இருக்கா?
இப்போ பிரேக் ஆகுது வாய்ஸ்.
சரி,
உங்க வாய்ஸ் பிரேக் ஆகுது இன்னும்.
வாய்ஸ் கிளியரா இருக்காக்கா?
ஒரு நிமிஷம்.
சார் உங்க வாய்ஸ் கேட்கல, ஒரு மாதிரி ரிஃப்ளெக்ட் ஆகுது.
இப்போ ஓகேவா மேம்?
இப்ப பரவாயில்ல.
இப்ப பரவாயில்ல.
ஓகே மேம்.
இப்ப ஓகே.
ஃபைவ் 30க்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றதா மேம்?
ஆமா மேம். நான் ஃபுல்லா நேம் எல்லாமே ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் எடுத்துடுறேன் மேம் இன்னைக்கு. நேம் வித்தவுட் நேம் எது வந்தாலும் சர்டிஃபிகேட் அனுப்ப வேண்டாம் மேம். பார்ட்டிசிபேட் பண்ணாதவங்க.
அது நல்லது.
ஸ்கிரீன்ஷாட் எடுத்துடுறேன். நிறைய ட்ரிபிள் மடங்கு ஏமாத்துறாங்க. இவங்க எடுத்துட்டு அப்படியே குரூப் ஃபார்ம் பண்ணி குரூப் ஆரம்பிச்சு குரூப்ல எல்லாம் அனுப்புறாங்களாம். அதை சில பேர் வேலையா பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அட்டன் பண்றவங்க பாவம் ஃபுல் டைம் இருக்கிறவங்க, அவங்களுக்கும் அப்புறம் ஓகே மேம். ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுங்க சார். பாலமுருகன் சார், we can start.
ஓகே மேம், ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணலாம்.
ஓகே சார்.
Good evening to one and all who gathered here. I find it to be a pleasure to welcome you all to the one-day national webinar on soft skill integration for teachers organized by Center for Capacity Building Program for School Teacher, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Chennai. I feel privileged to thank the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Professor N. Panchanadam, Registrar in Charge, Professor V. Balakrishnan, and the Dean of Faculty, Professor M. Govindan Sir, and the Organizing Secretary, Dr. T. Shivashakti Rajamal, who constantly extend their support for organizing this program. I also appreciate that efforts taken by Dr. T. Shivashakti Rajamal and the team for conducting the webinar. Now I invite Madam Dr. T. Shivashakti Rajamal to introduce the resource person, Mr. S. Balamurugan, Assistant Professor, Department of Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. Welcome, Madam.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good evening to you, one and all. It's a great honor and an immense pleasure for me to welcome you all for this one-day online national webinar on soft skills integration for teachers. I'm very delighted and excited to be here, and it's a great pleasure to welcome our eminent resource person, Mr. S. Balamurugan, Assistant Professor, Department of Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Chennai. He has completed MA English, MEd, MPhil Education, SET Education. He has published many articles in the reputed journals. He has contributed many chapters in the reputed books. He has given many lectures in the national and international conferences and seminars. He is holding the additional responsibilities coordinator, Center for Consultancy Activities, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, coordinator, Center for Entrepreneurship Development of Incubation, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, member for Center for Capacity Building Programs for School Teachers, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. We were privileged to have an opportunity to listen to him in this evening. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to deliver your lecture in this webinar. I welcome you, sir, with all my pleasant greetings on behalf of Tamil Center for Capacity Building Programs for School Teachers, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University. Now I hand over this session, Mr. S. Balamurugan, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
It's my pleasure to extend my gratitude to the university authorities and the team of Center for Capacity Building Programs of School Teachers. A special thanks to my sister, Dr. T. Shivashakti Rajamal. She is the lady behind this tireless effort and taking tremendous effort during this pandemic, organizing a series of webinars continuously with the collaboration of the reputed institutions for the betterment and for the beneficial of school teachers, not only for the school teachers, for all the teaching community, in particular during this pandemic, to impart knowledge as well, information updation regarding education and other important topics during this pandemic. I thank other committee, all committee members for supporting her behind the screen, for making such a wonderful programs and achieving towards the milestone on behalf of the Center for Capacity Building of school teachers for Tamil Nadu Teacher Education University. Thank you once again to all team members. I thank and welcome all the participants for sparing your time, even during the evening time you are busy with your work, but you spare your valuable time for lend your ears for 1 hour. I think it will be over within 1 hour. A brief lecture on soft skills integration for teachers. Soft skills we know very well. It is a buzzword, especially we hear the word in corporate field. There are many startup companies have been established for training soft skills. If you go for a job, especially in IT, for information communication technology, those who have completed their degree in computer science and other biotechnology and other engineering courses, who have joined in MNCs, multinational companies, they have been trained particular for soft skills. There have been appointment, there have been a position soft skill trainers. They have trained the graduates. They have already completed their degree and they have passed their interview. After completing these 2 phases of selection board, they have to be given training for soft skills. That's what the importance we can understand and we can realize at this present scenario. how it is important, soft skills. But soft skills for all, it is necessary as well essential as all human beings. We do whatever the things in our walk of life, in our day-to-day life, we do only the soft skills, but we do not know we are doing the soft skills. These are the soft skills. We are using the soft skills without knowing that whatever we do, any actions or any work, even we are uh, having dialogue, or we are sharing our ideas, or we can have the conversation with the friends and family members and parents, whatever it may be. We have follow and we have adapt certain kind of skills, that is called soft skills, that we have used in our day-to-day life. All the actions, all the works, all the tasks are comes under soft skills. Soft skills are nothing but the character traits. And simply we can have it as a character and interpersonal skills that categorize a person's relationship with others. That is what the very simple meaning we can give for uh, soft skills. Interpersonal, how to behave and how to communicate and how to get along with someone else, is the way we are projecting, is the way we are exposing, is called soft skills. But we are everyone doing, or we are everyone employing our soft skills, we are implementing our soft skills without knowing that we are doing. Again, soft skills can be termed as, it is an interpersonal skill which are used to describe your approach to life. That's why I have underlined that it is a day-to-day life event and process, and approach to work, and how we create relationship, how we make relationship with others in workplace. As the soft skills have been considered, it's a complement to hard skills. Hard skills in the sense that we are doing work with some other machines, or some other action writing, just reading, and without having any communication, just we can get engaged with work, is supporting skill or soft skill, which also refers the person's knowledge and occupational skills. We can have it like other way, personal attributes that enable someone to interact effectively and harmoniously with other people. Nothing but it is mainly known as interpersonal skills, and otherwise it is known as a social skill. In another word, we can say that very simply it is a people skill. Without soft skill, we cannot survive. Without soft skill, we cannot pass a day, even pass a minute. So that much important we need or required this soft skill for our everybody's life. Yeah. Then the next slide. Then why soft skills are important? According to Dr. Todd Whitecar, 2013, he has given a statement based on his research in the field of education, particularly has done a lot of research in leadership skills, and more than he has written more than 30 books regarding the skills development, in particular the uh, soft skills and interpersonal skills. What he says, according to his definition, it is not about only the knowledge, degree, or experience, but instead it is about what we do, especially like people, the human beings, what we consistently making for our day-to-day life. And usually, when we talk about soft skills integrating the teachers know the students to connect with them. Knowing your student is more important than knowing your subject. Teachers first should know. A beautiful uh, uh, proverb in Tamil, that is Aindil Valayadu, Valayadadu, Aimbadil Valayadadu. If it is not flexible at the age of young, at the age of 5, it cannot be flexible at the age of 50. So whatever we taught, whatever we teach, whatever we impart to our students, that should be given right from the school education onwards. So the teachers are not focusing more on soft skills, resulted in, while they are getting placement after they are finishing the degree, while they are getting placement in any company, they have been trained for soft skills particular separately. The reason is the teachers are not focusing on instilling the soft skills of students from the beginning to the school. So here, why this webinar, why this topic have been chosen for today is the teachers should know what is soft skills and why it is required, essential, and what will be the outcome if you teach it in a school for our students. The same again, Carl Murray, 2016, he wrote that nothing drives learning as powerfully eye contact and touch and the voice. These are the essential elements of pedagogy of care. For pedagogy, particularly here he talks about the teachers, why they have to be required soft skills and why it should be taught to their students. Nothing drives learning as powerful than the eye contact, touch, and voice. These three are the prime things in teaching, because we have to be contact with eye in person, and we have to be make it the message pass to realize it, and we have to converse, we have to make the sounds, and we have to make it clear the message through voice. So these are the elements in any pedagogy. We need these three are the prime things according to Carl Murray. And one more definition for this is according to Birch and Ladd, 1997. He very focusedly underlined the point is a teacher-child relationship characterized by closeness or dependency were related to students' adjustment school. Yes, of course. For conducive as well as effective learning, the relationship between the teacher and the student should be very good. In particular, that should be very close, friendly, very dependent for the students to feel comfort, to learn the subject with interest, to get the impact, a powerful, positive impact in teaching and learning. So, according to Birch and Ladd, 1992, the teacher-child relationship is much, much essential. In 30 years back, the teachers will be somewhat like the dictators. So the students will get afraid while seeing the teacher. They get afraid to clarify the doubts. They never ask any questions in the classroom. But the present scenario, the total scene is totally changed. Now the curriculum becomes student-centered, and it everything possible to make it as a learner-centered. So here the teacher becomes the facilitator. The role of teacher here is to make the subject, to make the teaching as much as possible to understandable in an easy way. That is the role of the teacher. That's why the nomenclature in recent times they have been given as the facilitator. For that, the teacher and the student relationship should be very cordial. The rapport should be very positive. The rapport should be very love and care. So that's what here we need. The child as well as the teacher relationship is more important. next one. Yeah. According to the Center for Design and for Scholarship Learning, Charlestown University has given, based on its study, the top teacher qualities. Because we have already told that it is a kind of traits of a teacher. Here they have started out seven important qualities that must be possessed by the teacher based on a lot of research they have done. As a result, they have come out with the seven prime qualities that must be possessed by each teacher for making the learning teaching process very fruitful, very pleasant, and it should be very effective and beneficial way. First, yeah, they have given that first thing is a positive. We have know that the teacher always should be optimistic. The same way he has to or she has to motivate the students being positive. Here, positive is nothing but the confident enough to treat or view the student as a teammate. Yes, now the teachers have been given most of the time. The teachers should treat their students as friends, their own words, their own son, by giving us a care and love for their teaching learning process. Then should know how to have fun with classes in the classroom teaching. So in what way we have to be keep the mind of the students very pleasant. We make them to learn ready. So in that way, the teacher should know how to make fun in the classroom to grasp their interest towards the learning in the classroom teaching. And the teacher also should have how to balance focus on lesson plan with being creative and innovative materials. Yes, of course, the teacher should have to know how to balance focusing on lesson plan that should be very creative as well innovative, which make a kind of positive vibration among the students. Then the second one is prepared. Yes, the teacher always should be prepared and should ready to change or adapt based on the situation. Here, preparedness nothing but understanding the way that students expected to teach from the teacher. So the teaching should be from the side of the students, how in what way they want to learn, in what way the teachers should be uh, taught to them. So the teaching should be not on the base of the teacher's preference. The teaching should be based on the preference of the students. So the way how they enjoy the learning, how they enjoy the classroom teaching is based on what they expected the teacher in the classroom teaching. So that way the teacher should be ready and prepared to take classes for a positive, for a fruitful learning in the classroom. Then if the students prepared in the sense, if the students are not unclear, if they are not clear, if they are not able to understand certain concepts, they are not able to understand certain theories, they are unclear with certain informations, the teacher should ready to clarify it immediately before we getting to the next topic or getting into the next day class. So that should be prepared for the side of the teacher. And for organized is one, it's nothing but an effective teacher always prioritize the content they will communicate in order to cover the most important concepts in the classroom teaching. This teacher should know, the effective teacher should know how to prioritize which one is should be given prior to other things, and which one should be given the prime focus. In that way, they should be organized one by one. First, which one should be given in the first, and which one should be given the second, and which one should be the third. In that way, based on the requirement, based on the importance and the essential, the way the teacher should know how to be given in his teaching while he taking classes and communicating with the subject in classroom teaching. And the teacher also facilitate integration of their work, like reading, laboratory work, examination work, and paper evaluation and lecture in the classroom. So the teacher should know how to integrate the other works also conducive. Other works also will not interfere with his teaching. And the teacher should help the student to synthesize the informations and experience from each of those content to help them learn how to think about the subject rather than simply memorizing the fact. So nowadays, most of the students, they are only memorize the concepts. They do not know what is given in detail. Just they have to be memorize everything. They do not understand what is the base of the concept. For the purpose only writing the examination only, they have memorized it. It won't be give any kind of impact. It won't be give any kind of long term helpful for your other purpose of preparation. Most of the students who have scored more marks in plus 2, scoring more than 1,000, scoring the top rank, but they failed in their entrance like a NEET, JEE, and most of the entrance examinations only because of they do not understand the concept properly. They do not learn it through proper understanding. They only just do mock up and memorizing the facts only. Then they have to just write it during the examination. Then they will forget everything. So the teaching should not be forgot. That should be the lifelong one. It's a lifelong process. That should be whenever they have been recollect their learning during such situations. Then the clear is most important. Every teacher become an expert in their subject, so they can simplify the subject matter and present it in a way that is easily digestible to their students. That way we have to be teach the subject. So whatever we teach, whatever we are expert in our subject, the way we are delivering, the way we are presenting the matter, that should be digestible in the sense that should be very easily understandable. In that way, the teachers should have the quality of clarity. And the next one is active. Yes, of course. The teachers recognize that lecturing is not the only way for students to learn the classroom teaching and any study material. Allow the students in classroom activities by such a way to making a small group of students and give a task to a kind of a problem solving, and we can give any kind of teamwork or debate or a role play or whatever it may be. As a teamwork, we should be given through teamwork, group work. We can bring out a lot of talents from each and every students. So in that way, we have to be tried in another better way than only stick on with a traditional lecturing method, chalk and talk. So we have to be employ such a very effective ways like a group, small group discussions and activities. That based is more important. Then should be very patient. So the teacher should not be getting short temper. Even the students raise questions and meaningless, even the students not obey, even the students mischievous, the teachers should be very patient. So they should give any kind of corporal punishment for making mistake from side of students. So it is much important. We know that teaching is a process. It's not an event. It's process in the sense it will be go on. There is no full stop. It's indefinite one. So we know that the learning and teaching is the very hardest work in any other work. So it's not easy to concentrate our attention, our focus or attention in learning. Psychologically, we know that more than 15 or 20 minutes we cannot focus our mind on a particular point or a particular subject. So it is a very toughest one. Learning, studying is the toughest one. So we should be rush up the students. So we have to be give them time to grasp it. So we have to be make it in that way. So very polite and patient with students to make them to push them forward in learning to par with other gifted students, even average and under average students. Then the last one is fair. Fair is nothing but we setting the expectations regarding the students' goals. That should be consistently and applying it with consistent process and the efforts that we have making for reaching students' goals that they have already set for their academy plus their job oriented also. So here, once the students have set the goal, they know it is essential to apply the equally and consistently the effort they have to be put for making or reaching that goal. That should be in a proper channel and that should be in a proper way. And now there is no kind of shortcuts in reaching the goals. And as usually we know that pedagogy, a science that deals with a practice of teaching pedagogy, it exists from age. Yes, of course, teaching is a kind of science. It relates the fact that every teacher we must acquire new soft skills because progress is impossible without change. We know very well that changes are eternal. In this world, everything will change in course of time. So there is no end or no way for stop the change. So change is eternal. Based on that, for changing taking place, we should also adapt ourselves and update ourselves, and we have to be modify ourselves, acquiring the new soft skills that are essential for that particular period of time. So that is much essential. So progress is impossible without change. In the last 10 years back, there is only few technology skills have been acquired by the teachers. But now in 21st century, most of the teachers, they are well versed, they are more savvy with the technology skills. In particular, during this pandemic, even the teachers who are having phobia towards the technology also, they get down to learn the technology skills that are which much essential for their classroom teaching during this pandemic to teach their students. Again, the teaching methods are changing with evaluation of society. We are evidencing that the methods have been changing. 10 years back, there is only the way for a projector and OHP and some other technology and televisions only available as in terms of the technology. And 20 years back, only the chalk and talk only available in the schools. But now in 21st century, it is more oriented towards psychology of students along with use of technology. Yes, technology alone we cannot achieve the target. We cannot make the teaching pleasant. We cannot create any kind of positive impact in our teaching. But that should be blended with psychology, the students' requirements, the students' mindset, the students' need. This should be viewed based on the psychological aspect. The psychological aspect should be blended with technology, make it further easy, the learning and teaching process. So it is said the influence of a good teacher can never be erased. Yes, technology cannot replace the teacher at any cost. Even the technology have been programmed, the technology have been functioned, or it have been operated only because of the man, human being. So there is no device, or there is nothing to replace the teachers, and so the place should be always filled with the teachers only. It cannot be filled with the technology. And there are 10 skills that are very much important for all teachers that we have to be integrated in our teaching profession. In first one, that is group dynamic. Each and every one, as a teacher, we should know what is group dynamic. It is much important. The group dynamic can be defined in one word, is it is nothing but the change of behavior through interaction. So the behavior is much important in group dynamic, because a group is, it's a collection of different kinds of people. We cannot expect all the people in a group should be with the same wavelength, same mind, thoughtful, same mind process, same way of thinking. So in that kind of group, the group should be adapted with, the group should be handled with the behavior change through the interaction. So we cannot be express our own views in a group. The group, in a group, they have to be heard all members' opinion. Based on the opinion, the majority acceptable, and we have to come to the consensus. That should be passed as the final one. So in that way, it's a change of behavior through interaction in a group, is the group dynamic. Any classroom involves many group activities to complete a project. Yes, if a task is given as a group activity, it will be easily completed. For example, in a playground, in laboratory, or giving any task as as a adjunct one, that should be given as a teamwork. Definitely, it will be quickly completed as well. The work and the result will be very hybrid and very vibrant than giving any individual. In individual, that will be only mindset, only thought of a particular individual. The same thing, whereas as a group activity, there will be a collection of ideas, there will be a collection of thought process, there will be a collection of a way of thinking. So the result will be very vibrant one. So when we have a good knowledge of group dynamics, you will be able to, whatever you want to do, you have to need it a group dynamics. Particularly, the teacher should know the skill of group dynamics for their classroom teaching, as well as to make the tasks very fruitful, as well very positive outcome. We should implement, we should employ group dynamics as the prime skill. For group dynamics, we have to guide our students how to adjust easily in the group. As I already told you, that a group, it is a collection of different kinds of students and persons and individuals. So we cannot project ourselves only as a prime thing. So we have to know how to adjust with the group. That is more important. This thing should be taught by the teacher to their students. Then promote healthy interaction and avoid negative attitude. So there should not be give room for any negative, adverse thinking. There should not be any kind of a personal revenge, a personal vengeance. Whatever we have the personal conflict or personal different kinds of opinions. As a group, we have to be promote for the health interactions only. So should avoid a negative attitude in group dynamic. This should be very carefully guided as well insisted by the teacher in group dynamics. And the teacher should make the students deal efficiently with different social groups. Yes, while it comes to a social group in school, if you form a small group with 5 or 6 members in a school, there will not be all from the same background. So the students will be come from some people from a rural area, some people from urban, some people from suburban. Some people's fathers have educated, some students' fathers will not be educated. So this kind of the thing, some people are very luxurious, they are very middle class, and some people very poor. So the social group should be deal with very efficiently without giving a place for any contradiction, any negative opinions. So while giving a group dynamic skill, the teachers should be remove the stress and conflicts in groups. A particular individual, it is more stressful to give. The same thing you have given as a group work, definitely that will be shared by each member of the group. Definitely they will be relieved from stress and conflict. They put together a collaboration work and make it a successful very short time duration. And second one is the body language. Of course, the communication is most important one in soft skills. Here the body language, the way we are expressing our gestures, body language is combined with verbal and non-verbal mode. Body language teaches or conveys a lot of significance. Here the studies say that non-verbal communication holds 93% of importance in conveying any message. So the non-verbal, like facial expressions, just we are raising our eyebrows, changing the face, or whatever we express through our body as a language to convey certain things, whether it is pleasure, whether it is sadness, whether it is angry, whether it is uh, uh, blissful, pleasant, whatever may be, we can through expressions, we can convey the emotions through our body. So 93% of the non-verbal communication cues are important than verbal communication. Verbal communication, just the words we are spoken, the sounds we are making as a message, only for the 7%. So here body language plays a very vital role than the our oral communication, that's verbal. So non-verbal holds the 97% impact. So non-verbal is more important than the verbal. The thing what we deliver is important than how we behave, how the attitude we express while delivering the matter. That is more important. So a teacher should be master the principles and methods of the correct way of body language. Students often imitate words and actions of the teacher. So for students, teachers are the role model. Teachers are the heroines. So whatever we do will have the impact in students. So the teacher should be rectified. This teacher should be proper and appropriate and should be master the principles and methods how to convey the body language in a correct way, in correct manner, because we are the a model and role model to our students. For that purpose, we should be very careful that while our body language in the classroom teaching, not only in the classroom teaching, whatever we do in the classroom, whatever we behave, our everything will be observed and as well keenly watched by our students, because most of the students are setting their teachers only as the role model than anybody else. Even their parents, they do not be a role model. Even very billionaires, even more prosperous and familiar personalities are not be a role model. The teachers are the first role model for all the students. For that, what we have to be focused for body language is eye contact. Eye contact is more important. We usually have the outage in eye speaks more louder, so the eyes contact is more important than the voice modulation. That should be given for the purpose of verbal communication. Then the positive body language like smiling and nodding. Yes, teachers always should have a smile on their face while you are entering into the classroom, while you are approaching your classroom, while you are conversation with your students. You should be with a smiling face. Even we have some sadness or we have some quarrel with the family or relatives, we never expose it in the class, because the teacher is not happy, the students also will be not happy. So the same way, whatever, even we have some sadness in our mind, we should not be exposed it at any place at any time. So always we have to be go with a smile. So that's why we have to be have smile and nodding. That is more important for non-verbal, and should have the confident body posture. Yes, the way you project your body language will tell or will I'll convey to the students that what level you, the confident level you are having. So that is much important and the part of body language. The third one is interpersonal skill. Interpersonal skill is everything. It includes the same as verbal and non-verbal. Uh, if you have good experience and knowledge in your own subject, if you do not have that interpersonal skill, it will be won't give you any kind of positive result for your profession. So though you are expert, though you are a master in your subject and you have very good experience, you have more experience in the field of education and in any field of profession, without the interpersonal skill, it won't be give any kind of impact. It will be go in vain. So interpersonal skill is the key which contributes a lot in your progress and success. For whatever the progress or success in your profession, not only in profession, in any activity of your lifetime, in your timeline, the interpersonal skills only determine your attitude, behavior, your position to others. So the way you behave will project what kind of the place you had in the society. So the same thing you have need is interpersonal skill with a mastery in subject, much needed for any teachers or any individuals progress and success. For that, what we have to do is the ability to make concept clear. So we have to make the concept very easy and very clear cut, crystal clear to understand. So we should have the skill of conveying the matter without any hassle free. Then listening with patience is very important. Of course, while you are listening, you have to be give uh, the person who is talking with you to complete his turn. So that much patience we have to be need before we have to reply, before we have to answer, before we give the response. First, we have to listen to the opposite person, what he wants to say, what he wants to tell, what he wants to convey. Then only we have to start from our answer to the question. So that way we have to be first patiently listen what is important. Then communicate message correctly. Yes, of course, the message should be correctly communicated. There should not be any misunderstanding, misconception. So it will be totally changed. If there is any misconception or wrong in the message delivery, definitely it will make a lot of chaos, a lot of problems. So it will create unnecessary problems. So to avoid that kind of unnecessary problems and uh, things, we should be message correctly. That should be correctly delivered to understandable what we want to tell, what we want to deliver. So talking with staff and parents, the teacher should talk with the parents as well, our colleagues, the co-workers, our colleagues, our friend teachers. So we have to be have very good cordial rapport, very good cordial relationship with the parents of students as well, our co-workers, our colleagues, and our teaching friends, other teaching friends. That is much important for interpersonal. Interpersonal in the sense we have to be how we behave, how we make a relationship with others is most important in interpersonal. To acknowledge and accept that all students are different. Yes, of course. As I've already, no men or no human being in this world is alike. Everybody has some uniqueness. No one is same in the world, in the creation of God. So we should accept first and acknowledge that here all are not same. The same way the teacher should view the students also not are equal, they are some different. So for that only we have to be prepare ourselves to teach, to guide, to uplift them, for giving additional focus and additional attention to all students. And it helps to make class lively and positive. Yes, interpersonal. If the teacher is good at his communication, his interpersonal skill, definitely the class will be very lively and positive. So he is able to convey, he is able to communicate the matter lively and positively with associating with very good examples and very good uh, incidents, anecdotes. So this makes classroom learning teaching very live and positive. Next one is negotiation. Yes, of course, negotiation. It is much important. Most of this the teachers they are don't have the skill of negotiation. Most of the problems raised due to there is lacking of negotiation skill in teachers. The teachers should know what is negotiation skill, and it is much required. Why it is required is the idea teacher is always right is changed now. Now the scenario is totally different. In 20 years back, whatever the teachers say is correct, that have been and 10% believed by the public, parents and students. But now the scene is totally different. So the negotiation skill is much important. That why it is important is the idea the teacher is always right to change. Now the students are well updated as well as the parents are also updated due to the rapid development of the technology. They are also very advanced than the teachers. So whatever we say that should be correct, but we never think that we are always right. So whatever the thing we have make it a wrong one, we should act ready to accept it and ready to change that statement that if we have made anything incorrect. So that way, which is much important, the negotiation skill. Both students and parents may require a strong and logical explanation to convey information. Yes, of course. Now the parents are ready, and parents are making a lot of questions. They require all the messages, informations that have been taught to their students based on the strong and logical evidence and explanation. We should evidence, we should produce the evidence, whatever we teach, whatever we are giving as new information. So everything that should be a logic required. Everything that should be evidence-based, proof-based thing, now it's required. Now the parents are very aware that what they have been taught to their students in the class. They usually inquire their what's in the home, what are the things they have done in the school, what are the subjects have been taught, and what are they taught. So they have to be uh, recollect these children to know about what they have been taught in the classroom for any every day. They have been updating themselves and taking care of their children also. In launching process and procedure, whatever we bring in procedure and process, we should have the strong supporting document. There should be some logic, there should be some reason for anything that we implementing or launching or establishing or employing procedures and process. So it is needs a negotiation skill. In most of the cases, the parents are agitating the school management, the school teachers. Is the reason is they are lacking the negotiation skill. The teachers do not know how to negotiate with the parents, how to politely they have to be explain the procedures and process. The most of the conflicts between the parents and the management the sense school management and teachers raises due to there is a lacking, there is no negotiation skill updation. So that is the reason for many quarrels and many unwanted things happening in agitation in front of the school by the parents. Even fees structure and some other fees collection and some other new things implementation, whatever it may be, that should be need the negotiation skill that should be negotiated by the management, by the teacher with the parents to make them to understand what is the importance and what is the necessary of implementing the process and procedures. You can adapt your own style and experimental knowledge in putting effective negotiation. Yes, all teachers are not making problems with parents or not involved in the problems. Only a few teachers have been confronted with the parents because they do not know how to negotiate using their experience and how to communicate with the parents. So that is the main thing. They are failing to many cases for making problematic. For that, you share positive and constructive feedback with students. Yes, of course, whatever we do, we have to be share a positive and constructive feedback with our students and make students feel that they are progressing. Of course, we have to be feel the students. We have to realize that we have to make realize the students they are progressing, they are developing, they are improving. So we have to be make it evidence based. Only then the students will feel that yes, of course, we are developing and progressing. They listen empathetically and they can give personal feedback to students. Yes, of course, whatever we give answer, whatever we response, before that we have to be listen very politely what is the others wants to say before whatever we give as the feedback about students or about any incident of a school. So that way we have to be listen empathetically. We cannot be very sympathetic as well as very. We have to always keep in listen with empathetic. Use constructive language like understand your issues. Always the teachers always be a supportive, a big support to the students. Whatever they make mistakes, when they do something wrong, when they feel uh, uh, dejected, when they feel frustrated, when they feel stressed, the teachers stand by the students saying the word that is, I understand your issue, definitely there will be a solution for it. So always we should be a second father, a second parents of our students. That way we have to be treat our students. And time management, it is much important because managing skill, time management skill needed to balance long-term goals our classroom teaching. Yes, of course. The goal set, it will not be achieved in overtime, in overnight, in 1 month of time, in 2 months of time. Whatever we set a goal, it will take some more long time. For that, we have to be know how to balance the time based on the goals that we have in our teaching learning process, in our classroom teaching also. For that, the teacher required to manage loads of paper with every assignment and have to manage every educational needs. Yes, of course. Before we setting our goal, we have to be manage uh, paperwork and assignment based, and have to manage every educational needs for reaching, for attaining every educational need in teaching learning purpose in the classroom teaching. We should be how to manage, we should know how to manage the time management by giving the paperwork, by giving assignment in the classroom itself, or to do it at home. So we have to be make it very clear how to balance the time while setting our goals. For effective time management is that how ready you are with your study material. Even you are not well, even your absence, you have to be get ready, and you have to make all the arrangements even in the absence of yourself in the classroom. You have to be make it all the arrangements that the class should be go with without any interruption. Even if you are go for a medical leave, even if you go for a week leave for any other or personal issue, if you are not absent for more than 3 or 4 days, you should make it pre-planned. You have to be ready to balance the your classes in your absence. So that is much important. For that, your classroom must not be affected in time of crisis. Yes, of course, your classroom teaching should not be affected due to the time crisis, which makes you a step ahead your teaching career. If you plan properly, if you plan based on the time management, definitely you will prosper in your career, not only in teaching, whatever it may be. If you plan it, pre-planned it with the time based, definitely there will be a fruitful result, there will be a development, there will be a push up in your career. So it helps you to do more things in less time, and take out time for fun activities. Definitely, if you plan properly with time management, definitely you will do more things in less time. As well, you have extra time for make it more effective, for making some other, or for making students engaged in some other activities for better learning. For that, you avoid procrastination is nothing but intentionally we are putting up certain things delayed. We never postpone the work for intentionally. For being lazy, we never postpone it. That is much important. Then plan homework strategically. Yes, you have to be preoccupied, you have to be pre-planned with what kind of the work you are going to give for your students in strategic way, and be ready in case of crisis. Even there is unexpected a problem raised, unexpected problems happen, you should be always ready to tackle the crisis without affecting a teaching learning process. So that way you have to be always ready to face anything which happens unwanted, which happens accidentally. Then schedule priority very effectively. Yes, you have to schedule the priorities, which one should be focused first and which one should be focused second, third. In that way you have to be given the priority based on the requirement of the teaching learning process. Then the sixth one is the presentation skills. Yes, the presentation skill depends upon understanding your message by your audience. Yes, the presentation skills should be not in terms of the presenter. The presentation always should be the audience centered. The presentation should be easily understandable. In that way, your presentation should be prepared That way your presentation should be planned. That way your presentation should be conveyed and delivered for facilitating the students, the audience to understand the concept, the message, the study material. In that way, our presentation skills should be improved and updated. Imagine how you get a good result in your class if you cannot convey your content. Yes, a round peg, a round nail in the round peg, a square nail in the square peg. That is very, very important. You should know what style and what manner and what kind of method and approach should be adapted to teach a particular concept, to teach a particular theory, to teach a particular study material. So the teacher should be well versed, should be good at in choosing the medium, the method, approach, and the examples and the incidents for making the better understanding of the students in your presentation. That is much, much important. Your presentation skills also involve your verbal and non-verbal skill. Yes, communication is much, much essential for any kind of presentation. Um, and also you have to be able to present your study material with optimal pace. Of course, you cannot be a rush of your presentation because the audience, the students will be in different category. Some people they are very good, very gifted. Some people average. Some people above average. Some people below average. So while this kind of mixed kind of students, you should have a very optimal pace of teaching and in presentation. So everyone should be understand your presentation. Everybody should be easily grasp your teaching. So in that way, you have to be prepare your presentation skill. That only gives time your students to listen. Even the people who are below average, definitely they will take some more time than the above average students to understand and grasp the teaching, learning. So in that way, you have to be give some more time to the students, and some more time they will take time for notes as well. Somebody for taking time for the question. So you have to be uh, plan very well while your presentation by keeping in mind all those things will happen in your class. For that, you have to be used very um, effective visual aids. Yes, already I told you that mode, the medium is more important. Use the aids, visual aids should be very, very effective, very sketchy, very impressive, and it should engross the attention of the students. It should create the interest of the students to learn, and avoid reading your notes on your slides. Of course, the teacher should never take a book to your classroom. You have to be well advancedly prepared at home for taking taking the classes in classroom. You never take the books to the classroom for teaching. It will reduce your image. It will reduce your personality. The teacher should be pre-prepared, pre-planned. You should be demo. You have to demo yourself at the home before you get into a classroom for teaching any subject. So you have to must avoid reading the notes and reading slides in the classroom itself. Just you have the hints only. Based on the hints only, you have to be take classes. For that much, you have to be prepared with your subject. So you have to be prepared well at once. That is much, much important. Take care of your timeline. Yes, of course. You have to be have the diary like habit to writing all those things happening in teaching learning process. So you have to be care of your timeline and make the content and complex topics into simplest form. Yes, of course. If you feel certain things, it's very hard to teach. It's hard to understand. Definitely, you have to be go for alternative ways to make it a very simple understanding, in what way that could be delivered in the simplest way for making the students to learn very easy, understand it very easy. That way we have to be very, very thorough, very, very particular, and prepare before your teaching and presentation. Yes, of course, but advanced preparation is much, much needed for this one. Then effective action plan. Yes, action plan is more important. For effective teacher, it should have a very effective action plan. It must be uh, teach like a skill of achievement to your students. Yes, the action plan only determine achievement of your students. For that, you should always have a very effective action plan for effective achievement of your students in the school. So you observe that how your students are motivated towards your goal, in what way you have been motivating your students towards their goal set in the classroom achievement purpose. For that, what way you have motivating your students is more important for achieving achievement that we have expected. And be interested in setting any goals for that. If you set a goal, you have to be motivate them to reach goal. For that, you have need to achieve that. If you don't know where you are going, you will end at some places. It's very, very true. You do not know where you are going. If you do not have any goal, you will be sometime you will be stopped somewhere. So you will be do not know where you are going. So always you have to set a target. We set the goal. That we have to take efforts. We have to be reaching a goal. For example, if you are going by bus, just you get into the bus, you do not know where you are going, you do not know the destination. Definitely there will be the bus will be reached its destination, you have to be get down there, but you do not know where we are getting down. The same way you should fix where what is your goal. The same way you have to fix your students also what is their goal, and what way they are putting efforts to reach that goal, and what are the steps they have taken to reach that goal. Here they have given SMART goals in terms of yes, for specific. The goal should be very specific, and M for measurable. The goal should be SMART in the sense S for specific. The goal should be very specific, and M for it should be very measurable. Yeah, definitely, it should be measurable. In what level we have achieved, in what extent we have achieved, that should be measurable. So we should know the intensity. We should know scalable and measurable. And that one is attainable. That one is attainable. The goal should be attainable. It should not be over confidence. It should not be more than the aspiration level. We should not set it beyond our capacity. Definitely, if you set it beyond our capacity, definitely you will be frustrated because of the failures that you have faced. So it should be attainable. Then step by step we have to be increase our goal. Then are relevant, rigorous, realistic, and result focused. Yeah, there are 4 R's. Relevant. The goal should be relevant and rigorous, very, very firm and strong, and it should be realistic. It should be realistic. It should be realizable. It should be possible, and it should be result focused. It should be have the result at the end, whether it is right or wrong. So then the time and trackable. It should be very time frame and trackable. It should be trackable at any time. Then it helps the students to reach one goal at a time, and discuss with students which is focused on the journey and can choose a theme to focus, example like boards and social relationship, and help them to choose realistic goals. Yeah, these are one time at one goal that should be teach to the students by the teacher, and the teacher should discuss with students the journey of reaching the target, and can choose the theme like whether it may be for sports, or it may be any social related activities, or it is academic, or it is co-curricular or curricular, extracurricular, whatever it may be. That should be a theme. There should be some core theme needed. Then help them to choose realistic goals. So we have to be help them in realizing the goal. And student motivation. You must know more than 100 ways to motivate your students to avoid challenge. Yes, the teacher always should be the teacher always should be know a different ways, even more than 100 ways to motivate your students to avoid a kind of a frustration, a kind of fearness in challenging whatever it may becomes in the way of their journey. So it is more important. Students always been motivated by the teacher, not only by the teacher, anyone else. But in particular, the teachers have more responsibility in doing this students' motivation. If your idea do not work, you must be ready to with another way. Yes, of course. If you are motivating, it's not making any impactful in any of the students. Definitely, you have to be alternative. Go for the alternative to another way to motivate him. What way? If we motivated him, definitely he will come up. So we have to be go for the another alternative ways to motivate them, and you should know how to create situation in your classroom. Of course, the classroom is the base for learning anything. For that, you have to be create ambient. The classroom should be very conducive. It should be very free for them to make any movements. So it is totally depend on the student-centered classroom. So there should be no hard and fast rigid uh, things happening from these teachers. So we have to be give them freedom, full freedom to access in the classroom to make any question at any point of time while even the classes is on. So that way we have to be given that kind of situation should create for a classroom teaching. Definitely will make it more interestable for the students to make, where the mistake and wrong turns take shapes to innovative and discovery in your student life. Though the decision is wrong, though the goal is have been not correct, definitely the mistakes, the wrong goals, and the things should be turned as an innovative discovery way of life. For that, the teachers are playing very vital role, making even the wrong decisions, wrong goals, make it a very innovative and discovery way to end, to finish with a positive one. For that, we have to be motivate the students in all possible ways. For that, we have to promote a mindset focused on growth. First, we have to be set a mind mentally. We have to prepare the students to focus on the growth, to focus on the target, to focus on the goal. And then we have to be design the assignments in the sense that the efforts, the steps that we have taken for reaching the destination. Then we have to use feedback as a tool for motivate your students. Yes, whatever the feedback you get, based on the feedback, the area you have to be developed should be conveyed to your student, and the area should be improved. The area they are very lacking. For that, you have to be what kind of remedial can be given. So that should be take for the students' benefit by the teacher, and promote sense of belongingness and trust. Yes, of course. Now the teachers having the problem with them is they are not well. They have failed to give a kind of a sense of belongingness and trust to the students. The teachers should be believed. The teachers should be believed by students in all ways as a safe and secure environment. The teacher should create that he are interested 10%, 100% believable for giving the students beneficial. For that, the teacher should be give a kind of love and care that is missing nowadays from the side of the teachers. They failed to ensure the sense of belongingness and trust among the students. So that way, the teacher should make himself trustable and worthable and give the love and care for during their school time. Not only school, from their lifelong, they would be that kind of sense would be given from the school onwards. Research new information on the subject and what are the things we can add as a new one for making better towards the target. That is also much important. Then technology. Now, 21st century, if you do not have a technological skill, you will be feel like crippled. You will be like visually impaired, because now everything possible only through technology based. So we have to be update ourselves and equip ourselves with the latest gadgets, not only for everything, not only for all the technology based skills should be incorporated. But the thing is, what the technology skill that you have needed for your profession, that you needed for your teaching, that you needed for your teaching learning process, that at least you have to be promoted, that at least you have to be updated with technology. For that, you have to learn the recent things with the help of your colleagues, with the help of your friends, so you can learn the technology based skill. Then you get then you can easily access the technology for betterment of your teaching learning, for your personal development also. It will be very useful. So for that, you have to be checklist. You have to have the checklist, latest mobile application to enhance teaching. What are the applications are available for making more effective for your learning teaching process? Then learning technical skill by watching videos. Now you can, whatever you want to do, whatever the things you do not know but you want to learn, you can go with YouTube. In YouTube, everything is available. Through YouTube, you can learn a lot of things. If you get some clarification but not fully you get clarified, definitely you can go with your doubts with some other person who is well versed with that skill, technical skill. So you can get clarification regarding your doubt and you can improve your technological skill. Then join technical forum online. Yes, a number of forums are available in online. So you can join there, you can post your doubts and you can post your desires, and you can post your queries. Definitely you will get some reply. They will definitely help you to get out and clarify your doubts and uh, requirements. Use social media. Yes, of course. Nowadays, most of the things have been shared through only social media, but that should be purposefully used for the good things only, not for all spending time for time's sake. For killing time is not for the social media. Social media, for in the sense, you have to be use it for a productive way. It should be a very useful way for learning teaching purpose. You can use it with your students as well as your friends, but we cannot be addicted to the social media. It should be useful for only the purpose of good causes. Then the last one is the discussion management. Yes, we need discussion. Teacher must need good discussion skills in a classroom to bring best from the classroom and from an individual. Yes, of course. The teacher cannot be like that. We are know everything. We are omnipotent everything. We know everything. So teachers should ready to accept, ready to acknowledge that we do not know, or that we do not very clear. Even from the students also making clear it, definitely we are ready to accept and acknowledge it. So through discussion, we can learn that we do not know from others. At the same time, the students also learn from us. We can also learn from the students. During the discussion, we can learn a lot of things which we are not familiar previous. Definitely we can learn through the students as well as our colleagues and some other, maybe discussion management. We need this skill for classroom teaching, particularly the students we can learn from a lot of things in the recent time, because they are well versed than the teachers with the technology. So they are very easy to explain, very easy to how to handle the technology than the teachers. So definitely will assist the teachers to how to use the technology for the teachers. So you can find it one of the most challenging skill also, but most rewarding. Yes, of course, it is a very challenging skill, discussion management, but it gives you the most rewarding, because we feel that there will be, if you learn from teachers, it is a kind of disgrace for your personality and image to the public. No, never, like never think like that. Teaching learning is, it takes place every individual. I learn from you, you learn from me. That is the policy we have to be keep everything. So discussion, we can learn a lot of things. A teacher must have this discussion skill. For that, we have to understand skills of your students. Yes, of course, you will be very well know about our students, because we know certain people are good at their mathematics, certain people are good at their language, some people they are good at their particular subject. Apart from that, they are good at some skill like sports, like using a technology, and they are somewhat, they are very unique and very good in their skills. So we have to understand first with skills and create environment of mutual trust with your students. Yes, of course, we have to create a mutual trust environment. There should be a very cordial relationship between teacher and students, for making the environment very pleasant and teaching learning supportive. Then you have to call the students by their name. Is a great pleasure to the students. Once you once you call the names of your students, definitely they will feel a very great happiness. They will feel as immense pleasure. So that way, we should know each and every name of our students in the classroom, and we have to use their name in the classroom teaching. This is what the soft skills of the teachers, they have integrated for their profession, for the betterment of the students, as well as for their individual development of the teachers, and for making the better, vibrant tomorrow for the younger generation of nation. Thank you so much for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, Balamurugan sir. Thank you so much, sir. Very excellent session, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Hello, good evening, sir. Can I ask a question?
Sir?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello, can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, please.
Yes, I am Dr. Joseph Kachril from Kozhikode, Kerala.
Okay, sir. Sir, Balamurugan sir?
Congratulate for having such a nice, simple, elaborate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir, Dr. Joseph Kachari, sir.
Yes.
Please repeat your question, please, sir.
Yes. At first, I wish to congratulate sir for having such a nice, simple, elaborate, and excellent presentation. I have one query, sir. Out of this skill, can you specify the needed skill or stress the needed skill for dealing the online classes during this pandemic period? The most specific.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Repeat your question, please.
Can you specify the most specific or needed skill for dealing online classes during this pandemic period?
Sir, Balamurugan sir, please stop, sir. Please unmute your video, please. Participants want, sir, please, sir.
Yes, my network is very low.
Okay.
So
sir, please stop the share screen.
Of course, during this pandemic, the skill that we needed much at present situation is the technology-based skill. Most of the teachers, they are well versed with their subject. They are mastery over their subject, but they are lacking the technology skills. How to use the technology to convey, to present the subject to the students. So the thing is, we have to be at least update ourselves with the technology skills. That is the very basic skill like how to prepare the presentation and how to there are a lot of the number of open resources, open educational OPA, open educational resources available at free of cost in online. But most of the teachers, we do not aware of that. But if you get help with some people who are well versed with the technology, they are well versed with online things, definitely you can get help from them. Based on that, we can make our teaching more effective. Definitely during this pandemic, you can make it your students more effective, definitely with your subject. The thing is, a lot of things are available, but the thing is, we not aware of how many open educational resources available in online. First, we have to know how many pre-cost tools and materials available in the online. Then we know how to get it and how to use for our teaching. So we can go for help for anybody else who are well versed with their technical knowledge. So they definitely they will assist us for making for our subject teaching in online.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Joseph Kachari, sir. Dr.
Okay.
Balamurugan, sir,
Thank
he
you.
is only person daily attendance.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Joseph
Thank you,
Kachari.
thank you, sir. Thank you so
ma'am.
much for talking with you. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Premalata, ma'am.
Madam, சொல்லுங்க ma'am.
Read the question, ma'am. Question answer.
Sir, what are the activities for development of interpersonal among college students?
Once again, ma'am.
What are the activities for development of interpersonal among students?
Interpersonal is nothing but we have to be improve our communication skill. And then we have to be know the ethics of profession first. As a teacher, we have been observed by the public, observed by our own students, observed by the society. So we should know what are the qualities of a teacher first. As being the role model to the nation, to the whole society, we should know what are prime things, because we reflected by many students. Many students have taken their teachers as role model. For that, we should be very error-free in all ways, whatever it may be, time management, and being very kind and lovable, and being very patient to listen the issues and queries of the students and public. And we should be motivate the students. So these are the skills we much needed as a teacher for the betterment of the students, as well as we are being the epitome, we are being the representation of a role model to teaching for our entire students community. So in that way, whatever we do, there should be very conscious about as a teacher, whether we do whatever it may be, the thing, not only in the classroom, not only in the working place, but even in the home and our personal life. As a teacher, whether we do certain things is correct or not, based on that we have to decide the things what will reflect, definitely, because in the society, even even the illiterate people, they treat teacher at the very highest level person. They, whatever they say is correct, whatever they do is correct. Definitely, for that we have to be do justice. For that we have to be develop to thinking mentality of the public as well as the students. We have to do is justice for what they believe about the teachers. That's it.
If the students do not open up, how to create further discussion?
We have to be first. We have to be very love and affectionate towards the students. So we should be very friendly with the students. Most of the students who are very reserved, they are feel as shy to open their mouth. they feel a kind of inferior because maybe they feel themselves as inferior. They may be from very downtrodden, even they do not know the basics. So the teacher should give first that love and care. Then we should give a kind of motivation. Then we should give a kind of safe and secure environment. So the level we are getting down to the level of the students, based on that he will understand the teacher well, and he slowly and gradually open his mouth, and he come forward and willing to reveal what are the difficulties he has in his mind and why he is feel a kind of reserved and inferior. Based on that, we have to be take special attention for the students to get out from the that kind of the negative aspect of the students. So that way we have to be teacher. The thing is, the love and care is the first far and foremost thing for students like a shy and reserved type.
Sir, how to differentiate the soft and hard skills properly and to properly use in the classroom?
Soft skill is nothing but whatever we do in our life, our speaking, and we are appreciating, giving motivation and communication, um, and the way we are approaching the people and approaching the task, and how we behave with our neighbors, our students. That is the soft skills. What we do,
Sir, your voice is breaking.
yeah, whatever we do, that is the life skill for our life. Communication, um, motivation, time management, and some other skills. They are hard skills. Like without having anything. That's hardware. The programming likes that.
Can we improve social relationship of students?
Yeah, already I've told you that social relationship must be, a teacher should be common for all. The teacher should expose himself. He is very lovable. He is very kind. He is treating all are equal. So that kind of trust should be created by the teacher to every student, because the students from a different category, like different base. Some people have middle class, some people rich, some people even they do not have they don't have the clothes and so they feel that when comparing with other students themselves, so we are not equal to other students. To avoid this kind of things, the teacher is the only source. He has to be expose himself. He treats all. So he has to get down to the student level. Then he has to create a good rapport with them. He has to give a kind of rapport. Where his background is. Based on that, the teacher can know about his background. So, based on that, we give a special person additional help in all all the teaching materials. So that is attitude, a kind of tendency. That way we teach socially. Any other-
How we can reduce the stress tension among the students?
The same way, again and again, the first foremost thing is the love and care is the base for all things. If you are very lovable, if you are caring your students like your own children, definitely they will treat you as a father. They feel so teachers so teachers
Sir,
should
your
be,
voice is breaking.
yeah, some network problem. That's why is
இப்போ கரெக்டா இருக்கு சார்.
okay, okay. For that, the teacher should be a parent in the classroom for all students. For that, the teacher should give a more love and care. How we are treating our own children. So that we can easily understand the student easily and know what he has in his mind. Definitely will come and deliver and reveal everything. Even he is frustrated, even he is stressed, definitely he will come and find a solution from you. You can easily understand seeing the face of the student, whether he is normal, whether he is okay, whether he is having problem, or whether he is not okay, he is not somewhat is that the face itself is the goodness of human being. That way we take as a parent way, stand of students. Any other questions, please?
மேம், டாக்டர் பிரேமலதா மேம்,
Madam,
கொஸ்டின்ஸ் ஓவரா மேம்?
அதே pattern, the same thing only repeated.
ஓகே மேம், ஓகே. Over the vote of thanks, ma'am.
Dear participants, a kind request to you all. Kindly don't send the feedback link to your friends who are not participating in this webinar. This will affect the participants, one who is attending properly. Today, the link will be available only up to 8 p.m. Later, we will not repost the link to anyone who is asking through WhatsApp, SMS, etc. The link will be reopened after some time. Kindly fill it up.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Bala Murugan, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Dr. Ratiswari, Assistant Professor, Department of Value Education, to deliver the vote of thanks. Please, ma'am. Dr. Ratiswari, ma'am. Dr. Ratiswari, ma'am.
Madam, audio.
Dr. Ratiswari, ma'am.
The audio not working.
One minute, ma'am. Ma'am, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, madam, you are audible, but Ratiswari madam is not audible.
I will call her, ma'am.
Participants, kindly don't repost the feedback link to anyone. the link will be functioning and you will get the certificates as early as possible. Don't ask for the certificate. Certificate will be given to all those who are participating in the webinar.
பிரேமலதா மேம் ரீஜாயின் பண்ண சொல்லியிருக்கேன் மேம்.
மேம் ஃபீட்பேக் லிங்க் இன்னொரு தடவை போட்டு விட்டுருங்க.
நான் போடுறேன். போடுங்க மேம். நான் இந்த ரெஸ்பாண்ட் எடுத்து விடணும். இந்த சாருக்கு வாட் ஆஃப் தேங்க்ஸ் முடிச்சுட்டு. Now it's no response.
The link will be opened after 5 minutes. So you can try later. You will receive the certificate within the night. Don't worry about that.
Don't message me my WhatsApp. Please.
Kindly don't send any personal WhatsApp message
please.
For the feedback link. For emotional intelligence, you will get the certificate. You will receive all the certificate. We are having the attendance list with us.
Ma'am, only emotional intelligence.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Please proceed, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Okay, madam. Good evening to all. First and foremost, I express my wholehearted and sincere gratitude to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor N. Panjanadam, sir, for his great support to complete this one-day national online program successfully. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and thanks to our respected registrar, Professor V. Balakrishnan, sir, for his constant support. Thank you, sir. Next, I very sincerely express my thanks to the convener, Professor M. Govindan, sir, Dean of Faculty and Head of the Department Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for his support to finish this successful online program. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to express my gratitude to our organizing secretary, Dr. C. Sivasakti Rajamal, Assistant Professor and Coordinator, Center for Capacity Building Program, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, for his support, the encouragement to complete this one-day national online program successfully. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
I extend a hearty thanks to our eminent resource person, Mr. S. Balamurugan, Assistant Professor, Department of Educational Psychology, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, spoke about soft skill integration for teachers. Sir, really, we enjoyed your webinar program, which was very informative and resourceful. Thank you, sir. I'm very much to express our thanks to all the participants who have made this webinar a grand success. Thank you. I sincerely thanks to the committee members, Dr. Joseph Catherine, Principal, Stella Matituna College of Education, Chennai, Dr. K. Mohan, Deputy Registrar, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Mr. K.S. Anbuchelvam, CEO, Chennai, Mr. R. Tirupati, Pudukottai, Dr. P. Subramanian, Assistant Professor, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, and Mr. S. Balamurugan, Assistant Professor, Tamil Nadu Teachers Education University, Dr. T. Premalada Madam, Assistant Professor of Education, Bharatiyar University, Coimbatore, Dr. S. Arogi Elizabeth Josephine, Assistant Professor, Stella Matituna College of Education, Chennai, Dr. S. Vijayalakshmi, Mr. S. Arogyasamy, and Mr. J.T. Augustine Jabakumar, MAD students, for their kind cooperation to complete this webinar successfully. Once again, I thanks to all the participants. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Balamurugan, sir, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for having spared your precious time for all of us. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. To all you.
Dr. Premalata, ma'am, thank you so much. Dr. Subramaniam, sir, thank you so much. Thank you all the panelists. Thank you all the participants. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Dear participants, after half an hour, link will response will open. Premalata, ma'am.
Madam,
ஓகே மேம். இன்னொரு half an hourக்கு அப்புறம் நான் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடுறேன் மேம். இன்னொரு half an hour.
the link will be closed around 8 p.m. Kindly fill up the feedback link and submit it as early as possible.
Link will open 8
After
p.m.
5 minutes, we will open. You can check the feedback link again.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
The link is working now. You can fill the form up to 8 p.m. After that, we will close the feedback link.
Dear participants, link is open. Link is response now. Dear participants, link is respond. Respond now. I will close within half an hour.
And kindly don't message us in the personal chat box and ask for the link. We will not post the link.
After half an hour, don't ask me, please. 880 participants filled feedback form, ma'am.
Oh.
Now 887. Response is open now. Okay, ma'am. Dr. Premlada, shall I wind up this session now?
Yes, madam.
Participants அப்படி இருக்காங்க 177 participants. லிங்க் வேணும்னு கேக்குறாங்களா மேம்? இல்ல மேம்.
இல்ல ஆமா
போட்டு விடுங்க மேம். நான் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் பார்த்துக்கிறேன். ஒரு 10 மினிட்ஸ் வேணா வெயிட் பண்ணுமா மேம்?
அந்த 22 சர்டிஃபிகேட் வரல மேடம்.
22 இன்னும் வந்து எமோஷனல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸா மேம்? எமோஷனல் இன்டெலிஜென்ஸ் இன்னும் ஒரு 20 மெம்பர்ஸ்க்கு இது இன்னைக்கு கோட்டா முடிஞ்சிருச்சு மேம். அதுல ஒரு வேளை இருக்கும் உங்களுக்கு. இன்க்ளூசிவ் எஜுகேஷன் ஃபுல்லா ரீசன் மேம். Intelligence 95% I recent ma'am. I recent all the certificates.
Okay madam.
Balance only 20 or 25 members balance ma'am.
Okay ma'am.
And yesterday certificates tomorrow only recent, because after 24 hours only working.
Okay madam, let me leave the group.
Yes ma'am. Today program we used another mail ID ma'am.
Oh right ma'am.
So today certificates all are received. Today and tomorrow the certificates are received. Shall I wind up ma'am?
Yes madam.
Okay. 152 participants. Dear participants, wind up the session. Half an hour response open.